Fight fans, our next fight scheduled three-minute rounds in our unified amateur flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing 5'6" tall, his official weight 123 pounds. His record 3 wins, no losses, no draws. Fighting out of Dynamic MMA in Calgary, Alberta. Please welcome Justin Fernandez. His opponent across the cage, this man fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5'9" tall, his official weight 125 pounds. His record 2 wins, 2 losses, no draws. Representing Shea Bears MMA in Morinville, Alberta. Please welcome Gabriel Shinobi Brown. And the cage door closes. Your referee in charge is Serious Anti-Social.
Two very different body types. Fernandez in the dark shorts, Brown and the red shorts. And you see the bounce of Brown, that karate background. And the two fighters touch him up. Brown wants to fight at distance. Fernandez, I'm sure, more than happy to slug away or to grab a part of the body and slam his opponent to the ground. And you see Brown trying to flash that front kick.
The feints are going to play a very big, a difference in this fight, is if he can make his opponent, beautiful little combination attempt there by Gabriel Brown. But that's going to be the difference, is he needs to make, be able to lie and have Fernandez believe it. Because otherwise, if you're faking too much, Fernandez, he's just going to bowl right through it, just throw those big shots and get after it.
And Brown has to be conservative with those kicks, because when you're throwing kicks, you're on one leg, and Fernandez can put you on the ground.
Those leaping shots are also the other thing he has to be careful of, because he's closing that distance to land it. Yeah, you land it, that's great, but you've also closed the distance, which is what Fernandez wants, to be in boxing range or to be in clinching range.
And John, you mentioned the shorts. I mean, these guys are dressing for the job they want, not
right.
the one they have.
That's right. Brown circling very, very well, controlling the center of the cage. He knows his path to victory.
Yeah, he's feinting that jab a lot, but he hasn't landed one yet that's really stuck it. Beautiful body shot. But and that's gonna be the difference, is he starts landing those jabs and then he makes Fernandez kind of fear the jab. And that's the difference. Nice little inside low kick from Fernandez.
Fernandez just looking at the body, trying to get a read.
Slowly closing in and against the cage. Very nice footwork there from Fernandez. And
and a nice combination by Brown.
Nice little uppercut there. And clinched up. Nice double unders, I think, from Fernandez. Looking for that ankle pick. The problem is if you look where the foot is, his right foot is kind of in this little divot in the cage. It's wedged in there. It's very heavy and it's hard to pull out. It's a little dirty secret from the fighters out there, is that if you stick your foot in there, it's really hard. As soon as you take your foot off, though, you can be lifted. Fernandez already has his hips below his opponents. He's got good head position, but he's making that foot that he's attacking heavy, so it's hard to actually pull it out.
Two fighters struggling up against the cage.
When Brown was being patient earlier, he had Fernandez where he wanted him. He started to get a little reckless, and then Fernandez was able to implement his game.
Close the distance, keep the pressure on him. And right now, and dropping down the double leg there, Brown looking for that over, almost that double wrist lock position. But, it also leads to you being lifted and tipped it on your coconut, unfortunately. Nice little ankle pick there.
Brown's doing a great job in the sense that he's fighting this takedown. Yeah, and maybe not that one.
He still got up quickly.
He got up quickly.
Got up quickly, but, the knee landing, that loud shot that we heard, it sucks. Now we're here, Gabriel needs to basically scrape his opponent against the cage so he can't get any shots off and be able to break that distance.
Very important round one in the books. Both fighters had their moments.
Yeah. It might be one of those times where we have to go to damage, where, who is putting more pressure on their opponent. It's a very interesting round to score.
Yeah, and that's what we call a closely competitive round, because it could go either way. It depends on what the judges are looking for. I mean, to me, Fernandez, with that big takedown towards the end, landing those body shots against the cage, does that make up for that nice combo that Gabriel Brown had? I thought Fernandez landed some good counters early on. It's going to be an interesting one to score. To be honest, honestly, coin flip round.
Yeah, I know, I'd agree with that. It depends what the judges are looking for. Judges also have a very short memory.
Yep.
So like Fernandez closing that distance at the end of the round, getting that takedown for half a second and following up with those big shots, you know, it makes all the difference because he's the one that's, you know, leaves that lasting impression that he was in control, and that's the last thing they remember.
What I gathered from that first round, it was Fernandez gathering information, trying to figure out how to deal with the longer, rangier fighter, and I think he figured that out towards the end of the round. That's why he was able to implement his game, put his opponent up against the cage, and look for that takedown. I think he's figured out the formula. Can he do it here again in round number 2?
Well, like Aaron was saying, Gabriel started getting a little bit reckless, and he paid for it. And like it's almost being too comfortable. He needs to find a nice happy medium, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll come down to patience versus precision. I think Fernandez is doing a good job of figuring out the timing, and Gabriel Brown has to do what he's best at, not get a little bit carried away under these bright lights.
Well, like there, you know, getting a little reckless, trying to triple jab in, and not really, you know, respecting the distance-wise. He has to make those adjustments as he's going, and Fernandez, ooh, beautiful kick to the body.
But it seems like Fernandez just inching ever so closer to Brown, that as soon as Brown throws something, Fernandez can use his athleticism to close that distance and get in close like this.
Yeah, right there. No, that's the difference between Fernandez isn't chasing his opponent, he's slowly stalking him and slowly implementing this. Able to close the distance, double leg coming up as he locks around the hip, but Gabriel Brown fighting those hands.
Fernandez almost getting the takedown, and does.
Yeah.
Right in his corner.
And look, Fernandez doing a good job of keeping his head and neck against the cage, preventing, you know, the bottom leg of Gabriel Brown from being mobile to allow him to stand up. And
Brown just trying to crush the space.
into a triangle attempt here. Head
Oh,
control.
look at this.
But he can't get the extension on his hips because Fernandez is keeping him crushed against the cage. So he needs more angle. So he needs it, and he needs to be able to, you know, get that leg either at least underneath the calf to be able to cause that pressure on the shoulder and the arm.
Brown abandons the submission attempt.
Rightfully so, I think. Fernandez dropping his hips down low on his opponent, which is preventing, you know, basically allowing him to almost go in that body lock style passing, that wrestler style passing, where they keep on the hips and able to hop over that half guard, so to speak.
Fernandez dominating this position.
Gabriel Brown looking for a Sean Williams guard there for a second, it looked like, and now pushing off the cage. And Fernandez saying, not today.
Fernandez doing his best to overwhelm Brown. Now passing to that half guard.
Now this is smart on Fernandez's job because A, he just was half Nelson his opponent, but also this becomes a wrestle fight, and this is where Fernandez is going to have the advantage. Getting that body lock, a nice little return to mat there. But that's the thing, is because you're so upper body controlled, beautiful reversal there from Gabriel Brown, but he still has Fernandez sticking to him.
An excellent strategy employed by Fernandez. Brown has not had an answer. He's just been in defensive mode for the majority of this round.
Yeah, and if you look, yeah, like I was saying, Fernandez setting up those hips, and Brown looking for like a Granby kind of attempt in there. And starting to, because this is one of the first fights where both have ground and pound available, so he's taking advantage of that. It's like a Bada attempt, potentially.
Fernandez back to his corner. Brown back on the stool. You see Tanner Bozer giving his student, his training partner, some instructions.
You know, Roger Alves kind of explaining, hey, when you're in here, when he locks that body lock, you split your legs, you actually open up the back attempt, and that return to mat becomes available. So it becomes you need, if you're gonna turn your feet, you have to look like wave a big hello, whizzer on top, and be able to split your feet so you can turn into your opponent, as opposed to just to turn and do the running man walk away, which doesn't work against someone who's as technical and as sticky as Fernandez is.
You think Brown's gonna need a finish here?
I think so. I'm more a pessimistic person, so if I was in the corner, I'd be like, yeah, we're not doing good. Let's change it up. You know, obviously he's got a good corner in his but they're probably not going to lie to him and be like, oh, you're winning.
Yeah.
You know, you have to know your fighter, know when they need a kick in the butt and when they need to maybe be lied to a little bit.
But Brown still bouncing, still has a lot of energy.
Fernandez too, though.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Not sure.
Why?
Sportsmanship, I guess.
Let's force it, yeah.
Third and final round underway.
Unfortunately, Gabriel has this, these long limbs, which, he used for that beautiful body kick. And yeah, he's catching it, but you still eat the impact from it. Fernandez doing a good job of climbing up that body. Gabriel has all this length on his side, but he shortens up his jab so much to try and allow for the combination to happen. And I'd like to see him beautiful return to mat there, but Gabriel Brown grabbing into an attempt into a triangle here.
And he has to readjust, looking for the
Armbar
arm lock instead. Brown could.
He's got to go belly down.
Fernandez, is he in trouble?
He's got to look at the feet and go belly down and uncross those feet. It actually creates space for the elbow to pop out. Unless you flare your knees like Ronda Rousey used to. She's amazing at this. She'd flare her knees out, across the feet, and cause so much pressure on the one pointer. But right here we got Gabriel Brown looking for the omoplata attempt and trying to create an angle.
He's trying to do something. That's why I love fighters like this that, they know that they're down.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to do something to change the fate of the way that this fight's going.
So right there, Fernandez stepped over the bottom leg as he was standing up to prevent, basically being able to load up that body lock that he's doing right now. Transition to the double leg and a pull out. Nice job there by Gabriel.
Brown trying to fight tooth and nail to prevent this takedown, but Fernandez steadfast in his approach. He knows exactly what he needs to do to get a W here.
He's come all the way around for that Kimura attempt, that power Kimura, so to speak. If he's able to get that knee underneath, he might be able to attempt another armbar, but Fernandez doing a good job of keeping that pressure downward and not allow that hip space right there where Gabriel's trying to go in, where another armbar attempt is happening if he can get that leg over his head. Unfortunately, I think that arm's out.
Brown's got a lot of weapons. He's got to learn how to put it all together.
Yeah, and and that's part of the amateur process, is just like being able to find what works, what doesn't. Unfortunately, as we said earlier, the amateur system, especially the early fights, is more so geared towards grappling. And if you have a deficit in, let's say, you're wrestling, then you're going to pay for it, unfortunately, unless you're a finisher.
Time ticking away for Gabriel Brown. Things not looking good as Fernandez continues to dominate these grappling exchanges.
I think in 3-4 years, we're going to be talking about these two guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. With just the skills, I'd like to see him go the same route as Tony Rojas, looking to step into pro. Maybe one more fight at most, and Granby attempt there from Gabriel. After that, it was a great job to create space. I'd like to see him look to get up and do what he's doing right now. Good job, Gabriel.
But guys, can't we say that about a lot of fighters on the unified roster, that we're going to be talking about them in the future? So many promising athletes in the amateur ranks, fighters that are just starting their pro careers. A lot of bright spots here in unified MMA.
Oh yeah, it just depends how life shakes out, Yeah. There's a lot of talent on this card from top to bottom, from the very first fight till the end of the fight, end of the fight card. So I think it becomes important that we, that it's called potential for a reason.
Fernandez has a lot of it. I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah, potential. What happens in life, and a little bit of luck, hard work can take you far, but not everyone has that to their advantage, unfortunately.
Fernandez confident that he will emerge with the W. Sign of sportsmanship. I love it.
Got the El Salvadoran flag.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite cuisine, El Salvador. Phenomenal.
Two great gyms, shaking hands, exchanging pleasantries. It was a good fight. Lots going on there, and it was a great fight considering, this is in the amateur ranks still.
All right, we have our decision. We'll send it up to Don Andrews to make it official.
Fight. Fight fans. Fight fans, we have a decision. Judge Ziad Harb, Judge Jason Tatlow, and Judge Luke Boutin all score this fight 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision. In the blue corner, Justin Fernandez.
No surprise there, Justin Fernandez earning the decision victory, showcasing his grappling and his control.